Welcome to King's College London and to the Masters in Immunology course. My name is Dina Gibbons and I am the Programme Lead. I'm delighted that you're interested in studying immunology at King's, and I hope that you find this webinar both useful and informative, and hopefully it will encourage you to apply. My email is on the screen here, dina.gibbons@kcl.ac.uk, should you require any more information. Now, I realise I might be a bit biased, but I would say that immunology is one of the best science subjects to study, and it's becoming even more relevant as time goes on. It was 200 years ago when Edward Jenner made one of the most famous immunological discoveries, one that's no doubt saved millions of lives worldwide, and that was the discovery of vaccination. But immunology is always a rapidly evolving area, and the ability of the immune system to target cancer cells was identified as the science breakthrough of the year in 2013. And indeed, cancer immunotherapy is a very hot topic at the moment and could be another example of one of those immunological discoveries that will save countless lives. I mean, basically, there's never been a better time to study immunology or indeed be an immunologist. So, what would you actually do if you came to King's to study a master's in immunology? You would get to learn the current status of both the fundamentals and applied immunology. We have both internal and external lecturers coming in who are experts in their field to teach you, and we run a lot of tutorials and a lot of group study. You would also learn critical analysis skills and how to perform good quality scientific research, as well as obviously developing the transferable skills that all the employers want. Now, our course also includes attendance at the British Society of Immunology annual conference. Now, this is always a very popular part of the course where students go and mix with around 1,400 delegates and really see immunology in action. Now, in 2020, this Congress is going to be held in Edinburgh at the beginning of December. And if you join this course this year, you will be going. Every third year, the Congress doesn't run. And if you're on the MSc course that year, you will be taken to the British Society of Immunology Winter School. So you'll still get to have your time away from London. Now, we take the welfare of our students very seriously. So every student who joins our course will get a personal tutor with who you have regular meetings throughout the year that are scheduled, but obviously you can meet them whenever you would like. There are other support services that can be accessed, and we can provide and direct you to any support you may require. To try and make sure we run a course that all the students enjoy, we elect 1 or 2 student representatives onto the management committee every year, and they can represent the views of all the students. And obviously, we also run anonymous feedback surveys that are carried out for every module, so that we can try and improve the course every year. So that's the basic background out of the way. What will you actually study if you come to King's to do MSc Immunology? So this course has 5 core modules. 3 of these are basically taught modules, and 2 of these modules are based around the 6-month research project that every student carries out. What I will do is go through each module individually, highlighting the main immunological areas that you'll cover, the types of assessments you'll do, and actually what the students think about them. So the first module is shown here. It's worth 30 credits out of the 180 credits you will need to pass your MSc, and is based around cellular interactions in the immune system, run by Greg and Pierre, snapshot shown here. This module is designed to acquaint students with the fundamental cellular processes that will be involved in generating an immune response. It provides students with detailed knowledge of the cells and the organs of the immune system, how these are all organised, their extreme diversity, and also their specialised functions at different anatomical sites. We also emphasise the importance of cytokines and their receptors in how all these immune responses are coordinated. Now, this module is assessed in 2 ways. There is a poster presentation which describes an immunological technique or method, which is 30% of the overall module mark, and the rest of the module is assessed by an examination in January. Previous students have stated that they like this presentation as it allows them to learn a lot of different immunological techniques, and also gain experience in how to communicate often quite complex ideas, and they learn this very early on in the course. The second module is another 30 credit module with a more molecular basis and is led by Susan and Patricia. In this module, we look at immune cell receptors, immune signaling, and all the different mechanisms, including epigenetics, that control immune cell development, activation, and function. There are also lectures to understand how the immune system can be regulated and actually how it can be targeted for use both in vaccines, in immunotherapy, and in basic research. So this module is assessed slightly differently. It's assessed by a journal club presentation, which is done in groups. So each group will be given a particular immunological area, and each student within the group presents their own paper on this topic, and then the group between them present an introduction and a summary. This is worth 30% of the module, with another January exam making up the rest of the module assessment. Students tend to really enjoy the group work aspect, and it helps them to get to know everyone on the course. As stated, also students tend to like learning the real intricacies of how the immune system works, which is detailed in this course. The aim of this next module, another 30 credit module, is to review selected areas of immunology that relate specifically to immune disorders, as well as the protective response to infection. And this is led by Helen. A whole range of disorders are studied, which include autoimmunity, allergy, cancer, as well as different viral, bacterial, and parasitic disease. You'll also be taught how to evaluate the rationale behind different treatment strategies, both those currently in use and those that are proposed for future use. Now, this module is assessed solely by coursework. You will choose a topic on which to write a 5,000-word critical essay, which you do with guidance from a supervisor that you will be allocated. This gives students a chance to critically assess an area of interest to them and also allows them to develop their own personal opinion. You'll also sit a data interpretation exercise, and you will write a reflective blog, which is based on 4 lectures of your choice, in which different disease areas are discussed that you will highlight. Students tend to like assessment-only modules, and they like the critical essay that allows them to develop writing skills, such as how to present data in a concise, stimulating, and publishable form, which really helps them before they embark on writing up their main research project. Data interpretation is a very big part of being a scientist, and this is addressed at several stages throughout this course, here, and also as part of the January exams. And we do several practice data interpretation sessions, which the students like. So we then get on to the final 2 modules, which all relate to carrying out immunological research. This research skill module is also run by Helen, teaches skills in experimental design, data analysis, statistics, and also skills in how to present both orally and written presentations. This has 2 assessments, which are actually several months apart. You have the written research proposal, which is based on what you're going to do your research project in, and then you have an oral presentation at the very end of the final module, which is this research project. So let's talk about the research project module. This is the biggest module on the course and accounts for 1/3 of all the credits needed for the degree. And as such, it takes place over a 6-month time frame. You'll be placed in a research lab environment where you will learn to work independently and where you'll gain competency in a wide range of techniques. Performing your own experiments really gives you a good insight into how experiments are run, how to critically analyse your own work, how to identify problems, and then subsequently how you solve those problems. At the end of this 6-month project, you should be able to explain why and how you did the work, and also the implication and the significance of your findings. You finish this project by writing up the formal research project. Very much like writing up a paper, but much longer. This module is really very generally well liked because it really gives a student a feel for what working in a research laboratory is really like. Often, if it goes well, students can end up getting their name on a publication, which is indeed very rewarding. Students often stay on and work in their host lab, and as stated here, they really enjoy presenting their findings at the end of the research skills module, as they really get to show what they've learnt and the interest of their findings. So overall, this course should give you an excellent understanding of both fundamental and applied immunology. And what we really want to give you is an insight into how immunological research takes place and how it's done well. As I said before, attending the BSI is always seen as a real highlight by the students, and in general, I think they love the course. There are actual metrics that you can look up. Our postgraduate taught education scores are consistently very high, and you can look these up. Finally, I just want to touch on what students tend to do at the end of the course. During our research skills module, we do run career workshops, including how to write a CV. We perform interview practice, and also we invite professionals from a whole range of careers to describe what they do on a day-to-day basis, how they got into their career, having come from an immunological background, to really help inform the students of what options are out there for them and what they may like to do in the future. In general, after completing the course, about half of our students go on to study PhDs, and the remaining students often stay in science, either doing scientific research, moving into science communication, but obviously you have a few who will just use these transferable skills that they've learned for jobs in the city. I hope you found this webinar useful as an introduction to this immunology course here at King's, and what you will do and hopefully what you will learn. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you have any further questions, please feel free to email me with any queries you may have. I really wish you all the best of luck wherever you decide to continue your studies, and I hope that whatever you do some immunology. That's all I need to say, so goodbye.